What's going on, family? I'm Angel. This is the Vazquez Report. Somebody tried to attack the United States Attorney of New Jersey. The suspect was caught and remains in custody. For more on the story, let's hear what Fox News had to say.
The suspect in the attack on acting U.S. Attorney Alina Habba's office in New Jersey is now in custody.
They got him. Chaley Painter here with the latest details. What happened, Chaley?
Yeah, so Attorney General Pam Bondi making the announcement, posting, quote, thanks to the great work of the FBI, the U.S. Marshals, and HSI, the suspect wanted in the attack on U.S. Attorney Habba's office is now in custody. No one will get away with threatening or intimidating our great U.S. attorneys or the destruction of their offices.
They call me Snap and Pop because I snap and I will pop your ass in the mouth. Don't mess with me, man. You better watch your back. Watch your goddamn back.
This all comes after the FBI offered a $25,000 reward for the arrest and conviction of that man. Here he is, Keith Michael Lisa. Police say he has ties to Mahwah, New Jersey and New York City. Well, on Wednesday, police say Lisa entered the federal building with a baseball bat. The Attorney General saying Thursday the man was trying to confront Habba.
Though threats against public officials is nothing new, it still was enough to shake up the U.S. Attorney from New Jersey, Alina Habba. Here goes how she felt about what happened.
Same thing. Honestly, Kaylee, you and I are in the public eye. We've had friends that have been, unfortunately, assassinated. We've seen attempted assassinations, and you never really think it would come that close to home. And this individual obviously got very close to where I sit for work every single day. So it was, he got into the building. It was frightening.
Before and after Charlie got taken out, there's a disturbing trend of conservative media personalities and even conservative pastors having their life threatened in general.
It's astounding to me. I mean, all you're doing is trying to serve your country. You're doing it honorably. Benny Johnson said there was a second threat against him. Pam Bondi, is on that as well. Frank Turek at a university,
right.
and they're harassing him. It's a trend.
It is a trend. I've had numerous people, some come to my home. I've had threats online. We saw the 8647. They started the 86 Habba. Somebody got indicted. You may not hear in the news all the threats that every individual in this administration gets, but there are many, and there are too many. One is too many. And all we are doing is serving our country. All we are doing is fighting, and the Department of Justice is going to continue to fight for justice. It won't deter us, but we are human beings. I have children that read what happens. We have families. It is a frightening time in our country, and I wish the rhetoric would just calm down.
When you can't win on the issues and your party has no policies that are favorable to the American people, you resort to personal attacks or even silencing your opponent in general. This, unfortunately, has become a trend for the far left part of the Democratic Party. Will it end? Will the rhetoric tone down? Will people stop being called Nazis and fascists and threats to democracy? Hopefully, but I won't hold my breath. On to the next story.
His name is Jonathan Alpert. He is now saying that Trump derangement syndrome is real.
Well, that's fine, but I don't see how that affects... What?
3/4 of his patients in New York have symptoms, and he is calling it the defining pathology of our time.
Yes, you heard that right. Trump derangement syndrome is actually a condition. According to New York psychotherapist Jonathan Alpert, he claims that 75% of his patients have Trump derangement syndrome, and symptoms include insomnia, trauma-like responses, and fixation on Donald Trump. That disrupts daily life. Dr. Mehmet Oz, Trump's nominee for CMS administrator, had this to say: "You can't make this up. Watch.
Take 2 aspirin and call me in 2028.
Well, psychotherapy, prayer, asking your family to make you sane again. Maybe we should consider a billing code for Medicare for people with Trump derangement syndrome. It is such a pathological process. You can't have a rational discussion. Listen,
Unfortunately, this is actually the case because even people who are advocates for Trump or Trump supporters disagree with Trump. But for you to have Trump derangement syndrome and have it to where everything he does is bad is ridiculous.
You and I, we've had plenty of people come into our lives we disagree with. I'm fine with that. But at least have a rational and thoughtful conversation about what's really going down and start off with the same facts.
Yes, debate the facts. And don't debate hyperbole. Don't debate feelings. Because facts don't care about feelings. Men lie, women lie, but numbers don't lie. So argue statistical data and facts.
Turning to the immigration crackdown in Charlotte, North Carolina, dozens of people have been arrested or detained by federal agents.
So apparently, Customs and Border Patrol, along with ICE, have a coordinated operation called Charlotte's Web, where they netted 81 criminal immigrant arrests amid the Charlotte, North Carolina protests of their presence in the city. According to what's happening in the story, on November 15th, they arrested 81 undocumented immigrants with criminal records on the first day to address public safety threats. Protests erupted with demonstrators blocking roads and chanting against ICE, resulting in arrests for obstruction and escalating into violence, including a van ramming an agent and agents firing a less lethal round at a filming U.S. citizen. North Carolina Governor Josh Stein and local leaders criticized the raids for stoking fear, dividing communities, and raising concerns about racial profiling. Now, let's get back to the ABC News coverage regarding this operation and the ICE and CBP presence in Charlotte.
Despite protests from the mayor and other local officials, ABC's Faith Abube reports from Charlotte tonight.
Tonight, dozens arrested in Charlotte, North Carolina. The Department of Homeland Security officially announcing Operation Charlotte's Web, saying it's targeting, quote, the worst of the worst criminal illegal aliens. Gregory Bovino, the Customs and Border Patrol commander overseeing the operation, on social media touting 81 arrests on Saturday, claiming many of them had significant criminal and immigration histories.
The fact that all of this was done in 5 hours is pretty impressive, and it shows the dedication that the Trump administration has on conducting the largest deportation operation in American history. Now on to the next story. You won't believe this next one. During an interview with Newsmax between Newsmax and Scott Jennings, the stalwart on CNN when it comes to the conservative portion of that network, had a back and forth with a political contributor. Something that was really big was revealed. Let's see exactly what that something is.
One of Pete's longtime advisors, Liz Smith, seemed to let the cat out of the bag this week, telling CNN all those felony convictions against the president were not a real case, just part of a planned Democrat Party resistance.
Why the base is mad at some of the leaders in Washington is not because they're not left enough. It's because, Chuck Schumer came out with no strategy, no forewarning, and just said, we're going to fold on the CR. I mean, I think he could have done a better job of explaining what the strategy was and what we're going to do.
Wait for it. Here it comes. Almost there.
But there wasn't anything like that. I think Democrats are learning, and I'm going to agree with you, that Democrats cannot only be the party of resistance. We cannot, we resisted so hard between 2017 and 2024. We impeached the guy. We prosecuted him, convicted him of 34 felony counts, and guess what? He still got elected. So I don't know how much harder we can resist, right?
Yeah, of course you will. That's very...
Are you admitting that the case against Trump in New York was part of the organized Democratic Party resistance?
It was a Democratic prosecutor, and at the time,
how do you sleep at night?
I thought it was unwise. I went on Fox News and said
There were Democrats who said this at the time.
There were a lot.
Just to be clear, everybody who now touts the 34 felonies, take it from Liz. This was not a real case. This was a plot to upend the presidential campaign.
Stop it. Get some help.
So basically, after all this time, it's finally revealed that 34 felonies was all a bunch of BS. It was a political ploy to try to get Trump to not win the presidency, and led to President Trump almost not winning the presidency.
You guys make me sick to my stomach, fam.
And the truth always comes out. Thank you for going on the 6-part journey with me. I have another episode coming up soon, so watch out for it. Till next time, I'm Angel. This is the Vazquez Report. Peace.